controversial post coming up here, you guys. So this is not homeschool related. This is actually these government cuts related. My husband has been working for NASA for 25 years. He's a NASA engineer. NASA has provided for us for a very long time. Now, I just want to say, after watching the way NASA spends money over the last 20 years, I have to say, ridiculous. Okay, I have seen things, and this is as a married person to a NASA engineer, but I have seen waste in the government, especially NASA, in the most disgusting ways. One of them was, I remember they bought like everybody a shirt that worked at NASA, and I found out that NASA paid $45 per t-shirt. Those t-shirts costed $3, and NASA paid $45. And when I looked into it, because I knew the woman who did the purchasing, and she said, oh yeah, somebody has a friend somewhere, and so that's what we paid. We weren't even allowed to shop for them. And I just sick to my stomach. That was like the tip of the iceberg. We had neighbors when we lived in the DC area, when we were working in Goddard, that literally worked for Goddard because they knew they could never be fired. They were engineers who would show up and do absolutely nothing because there was no project for them, but they also knew they couldn't be fired. They couldn't be fired even though they weren't needed, and sat for years at a desk working on other things they could do, like worked on other careers on the side, went to school on the side while they were being paid by NASA. What? Then, just this year, my husband actually was let go of a contract, and here's why. 15 years they've been working on a project for NASA. Luckily, he is a contractor, not an actual employee of NASA. But what they did is they were like 6 months away from completing a 15-year project worth billions of dollars. And you know what they did? They canceled it 6 months before it was finished because they just decided they didn't need it anymore. You know what they did with the millions and millions of dollars of parts? Threw them away. I'm sickened. Now, my husband is actually having to look for a new job now. We are being affected by the cuts. And you know what? I'm okay with that because the government waste is sickening. And I'm not worried about my husband and my family because he is a hardworking person who is honest, who will always find another job and has. And we are now relocating to another state because of all of this. I am all right with that because the government needs some serious work. The NASA needs work. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Elon Musk. I read his book. I'm not going to be inviting him over for dinner. But the man is brilliant when it comes to doing all these cuts, and I am 100% for it, even though my family is directly affected by them. I'm not worried about it. I believe in God. He's always taken care of us. I believe in my husband, who's a hardworking man. Everything's going to be just fine.